to recognize that our group is an integrated financial services group. We provide a number of financial solutions in banking, insurance, life, general, asset management, and other related financial services. We share customers across the group, and we think that it is not convenient for our customers to move between our different businesses. So we have come up with a concept that says, as much as possible, we want to have all financial services available under one roof. Green zone, and the word green simply comes from our colors. And we have trained our staff in those green zones very intensely to be able to answer questions and provide services on any of the products that are sold by all our group companies. But also the quality of that service is incredible. In fact, some overseas university did a case study and said it was probably one of the best service offerings available anywhere in the world. Our Net Promoter Score recorded in the green zones is consistently above 80%, and you struggle to find that in many places. We tested that in 2013, and were able to replicate that, getting the same results in Bulawayo, Zhishavane, Masvingo, and Chiredzi. And then, of course, this year we opened the other one in Chinoi and Mutare. We will continue to expand that concept. In fact, we do believe that in the future, the CABS branch, to the extent possible, should really become a green zone, so that wherever we have a CABS branch, we should be able to provide all the services within the group. So it's a good thing. We will continue with it. Marjorie is going to answer on the tourism sector, and I will just mention about other investments. You saw from the capital position of the group, we have adequate capital, and therefore we will seek to expand and deploy that capital in various sectors of this economy that we think will support economic revival and will be able to generate appropriate returns for us. So we have an appetite for more investments in our core areas of financial services, but also in other areas where we see the opportunities. Marjorie first, then we go to Takura to deal with the issues
Thank you.
of the first quarter trading.
Okay. Thank you. So on tourism exposure, we are looking at all lines of business within the tourism sector, specifically for the land that we bought in Victoria Falls. We are currently doing a viability analysis, but we're looking at a conference center, hotels, or hospitals, so it depends on the work that we are doing right now. We, as you say, we understand that there are lots of investors who are also looking at opportunities in Victoria Falls. So we are working with the council in Victoria Falls to understand what else is being planned for that town, so that we don't replicate what is being done by other investors. Then the CEO also spoke about Hwange. We bought a piece of land in Hwange. We think that there will be spillover effects from Victoria Falls into Hwange, getting to Bulawayo. So we want to take advantage of that and build a commercial center in Hwange. So basically we're looking at all possible lines of business relating to tourism.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of a general trading update, what we have seen in the market since the beginning of the year is really a wait-and-see kind of approach in the market in general. The monetary policy statement was delivered on the 20th of February, but I think everyone had been really waiting for it since the beginning of the year. So that has tended to impact on, if you like, trends that we've seen on the market. But in terms of the performance of the business itself, it has been in line with expectations and in line with patterns we've seen in previous years for this time of the year. Thank you.
There was one question about microfinance and if there are any other subsectors that you'll be entering directly in the financial services space. I think it was from the back there.
I thought I'd come to make any additional comments.
No, I don't think there's a lot of extra. I mean, obviously, microfinance, we've announced our intentions there. I think it would be good to work more closely between our two different financing businesses, and I think that's part of the restructuring that Jonas referred to earlier. There's plenty of opportunities in that field for us and obviously for development.
Okay. Any questions? One here and another one here.
Thank you for your presentation. My name is Tafaram Tutu. I have a question on your weather index insurance project. So, given the recent devastation in Zimbabwe by Cyclone Idai and the El Nino, do we expect the insurance payouts to present some pressures on your balance sheet going forward in 2019?
Yes, we think that there will be an impact. We have not been able to make an assessment. We do have quite a number of customers in agriculture in the eastern part of the country, and we are currently trying to assess what the impact may be. Some of them have not been able to access us. We do know we have a hydropower station in Kupinga that we have reported on. Thankfully, it survived, but there will be some minor repairs on the pipes that take water from the weir to the actual station itself. So yes, we do think that there will be impact. Extreme weather, unfortunately, when it happens, does affect our kind of business. But it is part of what emphasizes why this kind of risk deployment by consumers is necessary, that they pass on the risk to somebody else. But I think the occurrence of this kind of extreme weather patterns actually emphasize that if we are going to support agriculture in this country, we need to make sure that there is better risk management. And I think our product is probably one of potential solutions to that.
There was a question here.
Afternoon. My name is Tatenda. On the new SME center opposite Iskets, what's the uptake in terms of occupants level? Was it something that you expected in terms of expectations? In terms of
Struggling to hear.
all right, on the new SME center opposite Eastgate, the occupants levels, was it something, what's the current occupants rate? Is it comparable, is it up to expectations, as well as if you compare maybe to historical uptakes for other projects you've done before? Is it performing in line?
Thank you very much. Major will respond to that.
Thank you for the question. So the occupancy level right now is sitting at 57%. We implemented this project in phases, so we finished the construction, but we've got most of the space that was reserved for stores that is not yet complete. So what we've opened are the line shops and the anchor tenant, and all the space has been taken. So the performance of the building so far is satisfactory, even compared to the other projects that we've done before. There's a lot of interest for space at that building.
Any other questions? All right, with that, we will shut it down. And I'll ask us all to please applaud our panel fielding the questions. And thank you also Thank you so much for joining us for this analyst briefing, and I think the results have been satisfactory, more than satisfactory, and encouraging to see Old Mutual still performing on an upward trajectory, even in these turbulent times. Ladies and gentlemen, there are teas available out on the patio, so if you'd like to interact with us, we'd also like to thank various board members that are here for attending this briefing. Please kindly avail yourself to those teas that are available outside. Some of our team members will be there, and if you have any questions that you still have, I'm sure they'll be willing and able to engage you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. May God richly bless you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Manandi, out.
It's another great day in Africa.
This is where it starts.
It's time to pass on my culture, to break new ground.
To make my name.
It's time to make a champion.
To make my mark.
It's time to fly.
The great things you do tomorrow start with the small steps you take right now.
The time
It's now.
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 The time is now.
It's time to take that step with Old Mutual.
It's another great day in Africa.
This is where it starts.
Yeah.
So just double check it before you go. You should have.
You know this thing.
and things like that. Yeah, pretty much. I definitely think this cable is on the way. I've had this problem before with the other
Use your mic.
I know it's fucking. Wakupinda painterview andozvautaura
bandukupinda nani
nasi
okay fine
but urikutanga kutovhunza kutotaura kuti financial, can you take us through the key drivers?
Key drivers,
I've got my stuff together.
Christmas social. So, let me talk to the marketing guys
Fine.
so that we
Okay.
get it good.
Okay, fine. You
Good.
do what you have to do. What? Okay. Try. It's working. I'm not sure.
Which camera?
Which camera? It's that one.
For interview, hey?
Correct.
Are you going to do it in here?
Yeah.
So you need the volume down on the
Perhaps. Huh? You want me here? Okay, that's fine. If you could get the very good afternoon. So are you good? Yes, I'm good. This will be perhaps my rundown. Of course, the performance. Then from there, I move on to the how strategic is the high level of capitalization that the group is actually enjoying. Then from there, I get into the sensitive, the 1:1, the 1:3.3. Then from there, I talk about the outlook, which is the intention to grow into the digital space. And then lastly, the business reorganization. So those would be my items. So I guess I could put that there. Vakomana ava iri boys
andifana kupinda pakamera
ndiripo. Okay, sanda kupinda mpesu.
I think so. Kana vari safe.
What do you want? Which is which? What are you saying? Okay.
So this is where you're going to be talking
So
to?
can you engage in them so that I don't
Yeah,
know?
I've already engaged this PA. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So I'm going to Shoni, just wait a little bit.
So how do I? So he needs to stand here. Sorry, huh? Are you happy? So I stand here and then he stands here. Okay, but can you... Lovely. Okay, but can you read me? Can you read me? Alpha Bravo Charlie. Beautiful.
Okay, so this is how you understand it.
Fantastic, I'm good. Dipo, about that thing. I'm with John, who's the chief executive. So how do you want this held? Because this is not the condenser car.
Yeah, you can bring it close to him.
Okay, so it's this. Okay, fine. There is our target. Have you already sorted? Okay. Guys, please don't lose my target. Revenue scaling 41%, $1.4 billion. That is also almost twinned by it takes growth of 37% to about $300 million.
give
Good
you
day,
a
sir.
signal when you're live. Okay.
Fantastic. I just want to ask a few questions with regards to the performance of the group and how it is that you've still been able to report a positive performance despite strong headwinds. That's firstly. Then move into the performance, move into the outlook of the group into the future, and then also make mention of the high level of capitalization and how strategic that is. And then, of course, ask about the 1:1 vis-a-vis the 1:3.3 that the parent has used for the last quarter, book values as well as earnings. Fantastic. Thank you.
Just have, that's where you're going to be facing a little bit there.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
First and foremost, I'm Eben.
Pleased to meet you, Eben. I'm Jonas.
Pleased to meet you too, sir.
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm sure this is going to be a great one. All right, so these gentlemen are going to give us...
On three?
Video.
Can you pull it down? Can you bring it this side?
Beautiful. So.
On three?
A splendid afternoon it is to you viewers. Thank you for joining us as we broadcast live from Harare, the capital, where it is that we've just had an analyst briefing into the details of the financial performance of Old Mutual Zimbabwe Limited right here. And joining me for a conversation on the just presented financial results would be the Chief Executive of the group, Mr. Jonas Mshosha. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Let's cut to the chase. Congratulations on a positive performance. Your revenue scaling there by about, I hope that's 41%, as well as your profit after tax, which also scaled 37%. Would you want to take us through the details of that and how you actually found the journey and still be able to actually have posted such a positive performance?
I suppose our viewers and listeners will be aware that the Old Mutual Group is the largest financial services group in Zimbabwe, very diversified into banking, insurance, life insurance, general insurance, asset management, and other allied financial services. So the first thing about the Old Mutual Group is that it is well capitalized, and therefore it is well able to absorb the shocks that are in our economy. And it's a difficult environment. And secondly, we've been around for a long time, and therefore we have been able to build a solid customer base and are able to respond to the needs of our customers. But diversification is important in how we are able to deliver, because when some of our businesses are hurting, others are able to deliver, and that is what is really behind this solid, good performance that we have just seen in the past year.
Fantastic. You did mention the high degree of capitalization that the group actually enjoys. How strategic is that in terms of the group being able to actually navigate the way forward?
Well, in financial services, capital matters,
right,
because it supports the liabilities and the risks that you are taking. We do have a strong capital base, and we are trying to leverage on it and use it to expand into areas where we see opportunities. And we think that, difficult as this environment may be, it does offer a number of opportunities, and we see a lot of them.
Okay, let's talk about this one, which seems to be a little bit touchy. Just recently, your parent in South Africa, Old Mutual, which is listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, did actually discount the results from October to December at a rate of $1 to 3.3 RTGS. And then back home here, you have to report at parity between the US dollar and the local currency. What are your sentiments where that is concerned?
Well, I don't think that there's anything controversial about it, because everybody knows that there was a change of currency at some point in time. People differ. People want to think that it happened later rather than in October. Our group took the view that the change in functional currency happened in October, and therefore, in terms of IFRS, it is important, therefore, to adjust the results. The reason why the auditors are unhappy with the results that are not adjusted going back to last year is simply because IFRS requires us to do so. But I think that now lies behind us. We should focus on the future. I think the issues of currency seem to now have been dealt with, that there is a difference between the RTGS dollar or the local currency and the US dollar. And there has to be an exchange rate, and the markets will provide that exchange rate.
Okay, and of course, I couldn't help but notice the fact that you did allude earlier during the presentation that your foreign currency denominated assets actually beyond your foreign currency denominated liabilities. Would you want to shed more light on that?
Yes, it's just that we are a large group with a very strong asset base, and we do have within our asset base some US denominated assets that happen to be bigger and greater than our foreign denominated liabilities, which is a good thing for us. But part of it is also because of the prudent manner in which we have managed our business.
Okay, then in terms of the outlook, two key things. You mentioned the fact that we can expect a business reorganization, and then you also mentioned the need to actually get into the digital space. Would you want to shed more light on those last two items, should I say?
Yes, I think an environment like this requires a responsive organization. Over time, because we're a large group, our structures have become complex. We need to streamline our structures to make it more efficient, and we need to be able to respond to the dynamics and the changes. Our view is that we need to make our decisions as close to the customer as possible and as close to the regulator as possible. So the reorganization will help us achieve that. Digital. I think if you want to become relevant to your customers, you must reach them in the manner or in the channel that they prefer. And we do know that digital is one of those channels that will enable you to get to your customers. And we are going to be investing significantly within digital capabilities.
Fantastic. Sounds an optimistic look. Thank you very much for taking the time to engage our viewers. All the best with the ensuing financial year.
We have to be positive and optimistic in this country. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Well, that was the Chief Executive of Old Mutual Group, Mr. Jonas. They shedding more light on the performance of the group, as well as giving his outlook in terms of what it is that we can expect from the group getting into 2019. Thank you very much and good afternoon.
Bye-bye.